To permanently shift your reality, you have to first understand that it's really not that hard. It is really quite easy. And when we picture the thing that we are trying to move towards, the reality, the outcome, being outside of us, being, big and life-changing, and like we need it, we're creating so much resistance to it. I was playing Yahtzee last night with some of the van lifers here that are new, and then some of us who are more, stable is the word. Permanent is also not the word, because we're all kind of nomads here. But the ones who live here right now, combination of all of us. So it's really fun because we're a place where a lot of van lifers can come and stay just for free. It's a new thing here in Italy on this horse farm. So we have a bunch of new people all the time, and we were playing Yahtzee to bond, to get to know each other. And this is Roto. Hi, baby boy. Are we in a biting mood today, or are we in a cuddling mood? Oh, tell me more. Oh, we're in a talking mood. Aw. Aw, thank you for joining us. Thanks. Let's not bite, okay? Let's keep it nice and cuddly today. Okay, we're talking about all of our new guests that we've been having and playing Yahtzee. So I've never played Yahtzee before, I don't think. And I was learning it last night. And I had no attachment to winning because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, this is fun, whatever. There's always a part of me, especially being in Aries, where I'm like, of course, like, I want to win. So I already have that intention out there. Don't. Okay. And so I had no idea what I was doing the whole time, but somehow I was winning because, I wasn't being like, I need to win. This is like very, very important that I win. Oh no, Roto, I can't carry you. He was just crawling on my back. Did you guys see that? Also, if you can see over there, we have Cash, who's still locked up and not escaping anymore with the stallions, the boys. And then when my mind got a control or a more awareness of what was happening, and I started understanding what I was doing, then I was like, oh, I really want to win. And then I started to lose my winning and didn't win, which is also fine. But I was going through the thoughts while we're playing. I was like, okay, well, it's important that let's make this a spiritual practice, because that's the kind of person that I am. Excuse me, sir. And I was like, let go of attachment. And how do we let go of attachment of the things that we want so that we can actually invite them into our reality, into our perceived reality? Well, you have to imagine, this comes from the book Transurfing, you have to imagine what it will be like if you don't have it. Like, just go there really quick. If you don't get the thing that you desire, you'll be okay, right? This will happen and that will happen. Like for me, I'll lose. It won't matter. No one will ever remember that I lost Yahtzee with a bunch of strangers, new people. And so I was like, okay, I let go of attachment. And it's just a silly example because it's a game, but in regards to manifestation and getting to your chosen timeline, you really do have to stop making it outside of yourself. Stop making your worth attached to the thing that you're trying to move towards. If you're just purely moving towards something because it sparks joy and curiosity, then it's for you. And everything will support you in moving towards that, because when it's in alignment with your soul and your mind, it's yours. That's how this quantum manifestation works, is if you can have the two come together, then it's yours. And how do you get your mind in alignment with what your soul wants? You have to just know that it's possible. Know that it's possible and that it will happen. And when you stop resisting it, stop making it this big crazy thing that you have to have in order to be happy and be enough. You just are like, okay, I choose that. I'm going to move towards that. And I let go, and I'm going to enjoy the journey there. I'm going to enjoy sitting down, playing Yahtzee, laughing, listening to all these wonderfully different accents from people all over the world, and just like being here in the moment. And if I lose, it's okay. If I get there, it's okay. And clearly, I think I got a little too attached to getting there, because I was like, okay, I get it now. I want to win. And so I think that the other message in this is just allowing yourself to be where you are right now. And I pulled some oracle cards with some of my friends here this morning because I found them in my van, and we pulled one for one of my friends, and it was something, a chance in the wind. And it talks about how right now nothing is making sense. It's so much different than you expected, and it seems so out of your control. And really, it's going to get even more wild than anticipated. And what you can do to best serve yourself right now and to best support yourself in this process is to let go of trying to have it be a certain way. The flies, I thought they'd be a little bit better today because it's been raining. And allowing it to just be what it is right now. Oh my goodness. Maybe this isn't the spot to say this. Before I came here, I can't even say it. Maybe I'm not meant to say it. I'm going to try one more time. When I was coming here to Europe, I had an idea of what I wanted. And I'll just tell you because I don't think he's watching. But it was a guy. And I was like, and I was kind of joking with my girlfriends, but it just happened to become this. I was like, I want a guy who is from Australia, has either spent a lot of time in Bali or lived in Bali. I want him to have tattoos, to like be spiritual, to be into fitness and health. And I want him, what was it? There was other more specific, 6'3" or 6'4". And I made it like so specific, as they tell you to do in manifestation. And I manifested or attracted that person into my life, and I couldn't help but notice, I was like, I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it. Like, I don't feel the connection. There's something off. But I was like, but this is literally checking all the boxes that I was saying that I wanted. And I was like, but what if I let this go? What if I'm wrong? What if what I'm feeling is wrong? Because like, look at my mind. I was like, look, what you've manifested. Of course you want this, but you are going to know when something is for you and when something is not for you. And you have to get to a place of trusting that. And I'm saying that because when you're in alignment with what your soul wants, it might look a lot different than what you thought you wanted. And so that's why we don't want to choose from the mind. We want to choose from the soul, but the mind chooses and the soul knows. And so how do we work with that? We have to choose what the soul wants. You can say, I choose this if it's in alignment with what my soul wants. I choose pretty much that. Or you can just say, I don't really know at all what I want right now. So you say, I choose to come into alignment with what my soul wants. And then it's a process of surrendering to everything that is happening in your reality, and knowing that this chaos that's around you, the card was a zebra that was like in the air that we pulled this morning, a zebra that was in the air, and there was like a home coming out of its back that like started from within its belly. And it's pretty much that like the zebra is flying through the air, but home is within, like that centeredness is within, even though it was in a storm, like flying through the wind. And so, ooh, that's a good bite that I just got. Looks like a spider bite once again. So, where can you do that? Where can you just surrender in your life to the process that you're in right now? Where can you let go of thinking that it has to be a certain way and just allow it to be what it is? And how can you commit to knowing that you're going to be okay no matter what? Because that's really what you have to do. It's like when you create all this attachment to, I have to get into alignment with what my soul wants. I have to change my reality. It's going to be so much better when I get there. You're pushing it away. So right now in this moment saying, I'm right on track. I have a loop, a story that I had been replaying over and over and over and over and over and over and over in my human experiences in this lifetime that I've identified, and it's about being stuck and trapped and unsafe. And so I talked about this in the video the other day, and the therapist that I've been working with, who's a hypnotherapist and more spiritual, and I'm finding that we are getting on good. I was hesitant, but I'm still, walls are up a little bit because I really am someone who doesn't like to ask for advice because I've always been like this, where it's like, you want to create a life from your own space. But if people can ask you questions that help you identify things within yourself, that's really good. The therapist that I had before, she just was kind of more so, I think, speaking from her own stuff rather than guiding me in my journey. And so we identified this, and she was telling me about how when you're in the birth canal or you're being birthed, like there are certain things that can happen that can manifest into your first subconscious pattern, like being stuck in a birth canal, or I don't know what happened in my birth yet. I will try to find out someday. But that story was replaying over and over and over. And so I kind of forget how we got onto this part, but what was the reason for saying this? Let's check. Oh yes, we were talking about saying I'm right on track in this moment. So the therapist that I've been speaking with, she said, I don't want you to create that story more and more and more that you are stuck, that you are trapped, that you are unsafe. You've identified it, and now it's time to, she didn't say this, but jump timelines. And I was like, oh, yes. And so I've just been repeating more and more, I'm free, I'm in flow, and I'm safe. And the subconscious keeps being like, but are you? And then I'm like, yes, because there are infinite timelines and I get to choose. And I already know that it's very possible. People do it all the time. And nothing is big, nothing is small. And when we can get to that place of not making things like huge, then we can create and manifest anything that we want. With basketball, no, I don't want to be bitten by you. With basketball, it was like making 3-pointers I had no resistance to it most of the time, because I got into a place where it's like, I know the exact feeling of what it's like when it goes in, and like I can just make it happen. I'll visualize it before it happens and it will go in. But if the crowd was going, if it was a tight game, if it was, all these different factors, then the mind kind of gets in the way, and it's like, you have to make this, you have to do this in order for other people to be happy, to be, good, and to approve of you, and to all these things. And then the mind tries to make these stories, but really the best athletes are the ones that can block that out. And so you will be able to have anything that you want when you can identify what it feels like to go to your chosen timeline. In flow, free, safe. That's for me. And so I just focus on that. Even if the mind, which would be similar to, it would still be the mind in the sport, but all the chaos in the basketball court where the people are yelling and all these things, even with all that happening and the thoughts all coming up and telling you why you're not in flow, safe, free, whatever it is for you, you have to just focus on the feeling of what it is. And it was the same, and know that you'll be okay even if it doesn't go in, even if you don't win Yahtzee, even if you don't get the thing that you want, because then you let go of attachment and resistance to it, and then it's available to come into your life. Just knowing that everything happens the way that it is meant to, and where you are right now is perfect for you. It is completely divine. You don't have to change where you are right now, because this is getting you to that chosen timeline. This is getting you exactly where you want to go, and you'll get there quicker when you just let go. That might have been a fly. Again, every day. A lot of flies in my mouth. This morning I swallowed a pincher bug. I spit it out, luckily, but it crawled into my water bottle. So that's farm life, which I love. I really do love this. In a few days I'll be going to Switzerland, taking the train because the van still needs to be repaired. I just haven't really made it a priority to find a mechanic because it's nice to not be having to focus on that right now. Like when it was stuck in Austria, broken down in Austria, I felt like I really had to, because I was like, the van was just going to different mechanics and all these things. And now that it's in a safe place and it's my little cabin on the farm and I'm gonna make the space around it really cute and nice, I feel good. I'm like, okay, I'll do it at the right time. But right now I'm just enjoying farm life, making these videos, doing our 21-day program, which you can sign up for at any time if you want. 21 days to know your divine guidance is where we are right now. We're on day 13. You can sign up and then go at your own pace, but right now it's live. So if you have any questions, need any support, you can do ask that in the comments and I will be there for you. We also have 21 days to rewire your mind, which is a lot about what we're talking about, and moving towards your chosen timeline and healing your nervous system. Because when you're healing your nervous system, rewiring your mind, you're able to get into that space where you're just like, I know everything's happening for me. I know that the unconscious is what was controlling me before, but it no longer controls my life. And I'm just gonna use quantum manifestation to go to my chosen timeline and enjoy my time on Earth before I go back to being an infinite being, which you are right now. But you get to be in this physical human body form. It is a gift to be here. It's a challenging place, but you are so powerful, and Earth is shifting in such a huge way right now, and you get to shift with it and really take advantage of this time on Earth and enjoy it. Bring joy, play, curiosity into your life. It might not look like what you thought it would look like. I thought that the perfect life was that kind of man, which is still could be down the road, that kind of man in a mansion in California looking at the ocean. But I realized, I was like, that's not really like feeling like what this feels like right now. This feels like living, and I'm enjoying this right now. And things will always change, and I'm open to whatever that will be later on. But the point is just to be living, not to have everything that looks like living. With that, a little bit on Ladybug. Thank you so much again for all the donations. Your generosity means the absolute world to me, to this farm, to Ladybug. I can feel that she knows that something's happening. And tomorrow I'll try and record with her. It's been raining and there's new van lifers again down there. But I'm really, really, really feeling so soul aligned on this journey with her. And if you don't know, Ladybug is a horse here who has wobblers, which was most likely started from West Nile, but we're not totally sure. We need a third vet's opinion because it's like 50-50. If it is West Nile, that means she could be a breeding horse, but we haven't been able to get her pregnant for like 3 or 4 cycles, and we have one more cycle that we can try. And if she can't get pregnant, or if she does have wobblers, not West Nile wobblers, but hereditary, that means that the owner, who is not really like a horse lover kind of person, more like a horse profiter kind of person, wants to sell her to the meat industry, which he'll make some money to have her turned into meat, horse meat, which is common in Italy. And so I decided that I really want to give her a happy life. And I've been raising money, and you guys have been donating, and we're at almost 2,000 right now. And so I don't know what he'll agree on, because at first I was thinking 1,500 would be enough, because that should be more than what she would get for going to the meat industry. And then this guy said, after we told him that there's a buyer, an anonymous buyer, he said 9,000 because she could be a breeding mare, which she hasn't proven to be able to be that for many reasons. And even if he did do that and didn't disclose she had wobblers, then she would go to someone else, maybe someone that's more associated with what this type of person is. He's in jail right now, and so he might sell to some of the Italian people that he's associated with, who would not treat her well. And if they found that she had no purpose, they would just also euthanize her or send her to the meat industry, or just make her push out babies if she can, nonstop, to the point where she just dies really early and suffers because of her condition that she has, wobblers. It makes it so that she's very unstable and doesn't have great mobility and isn't going to be fit for holding that many babies in her belly. So we want to save her. So I'm still raising money. I think once we get to 3,000, I can hopefully go to the owner and say, I want to buy her for 3,000, or anonymously say 3,000 is the offer. You're not going to get more than that in any other situation, because people don't want a horse that has wobblers to be breeding. So we're going to try and negotiate that, and I will let you guys know what happens with that. So thank you so much for donating. I will link that below. I've linked my courses. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I have that option as well. We can do a one-off. We can do 6 months together, which are bi-weekly phone calls. And that is all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Leave a comment if you feel called to do so. If you don't know what to say, please say, long live Ladybug. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.